Hello everyone and welcome back to another video from Homemaker. Before I start with our today's video, I would like to thank all our viewers who have liked and subscribed to our channel. And if you haven't done it so far, please don't forget to subscribe for our new releases every week. So friends, today we will be talking about this beautiful plant that you can see in front of you. This plant is known as Vinca Periwinkle or Vinca flower, and I'm pretty sure most of us would be familiar with this plant because it is very popular and can be seen grown in your front yard or backyard. Now this plant is also known as Madagascar periwinkle, and why? Because it is native to the Madagascar, Europe and India. In India it's also known as Sada Bahar. Sada means always and Bahar means blooming, so it's always blooming. As you can see, it started blooming in the early spring here in Australia, which was September, and now it's January, which is the mid, or you can say mid of summer. And look at the bloom, it's so beautiful. And it's pretty hot today, it's 30-degree temperature, but look at the bloom, it's so nice, so healthy, so lively. So that's type of temperature that they like. So they will start blooming in the spring season until late summer, and the warm temperature and the warm humid climate is what they love. These plants are drought tolerant plants as well, so even if you don't water, or in those areas where normal grass does not grow like rocky surfaces, these plants can grow and survive very well. But overwatering can definitely kill these plants. These plants can also withstand the sunny spot, so if you want to grow them in a sunny area, that is also fine. So this area of my garden usually receives shade, partly shade, throughout the day. So around 5 o'clock I can say, or 4:30, 5 o'clock during summer season, this part of the garden gets the full sun. But that sun is not very harsh, so in that part shade, this plant is doing really well. You can make out with the beautiful leaves and the flower display that these plants are doing really great. So part shade is the one which is preferred for these plants, but if you want to grow them in full sun, that's also okay for these plants. These plants prefer to be grown directly in the ground, and they can grow as a weed. Honestly, all these plants that you can see in front of you, none of them I have planted in this season. None of them. I don't know from out of where all these plants just came up in spring, and since then they are blooming beautifully. I haven't grown any single one of them, and they grow like a weed. As you can see, it has covered my whole garden bed, and it grows like a weed. They're very, very difficult to remove, or very, very difficult to kill. But they look very beautiful. They help to reduce this problem of soil erosion because of their ability to grow anywhere, and they hardly need any maintenance, to be honest, other than the rainwater or the water that I give in my garden. I have never fertilized them, never done anything special for them, and they are doing just great. So if you are growing them in the ground, there is very much low maintenance. You don't need to maintain them at all. But if you are growing them in a pot, make sure that you use well draining soil. Make sure you add perlite or coarse sand, or some sort of material, pumice, some sort of material which can allow better drainage, so that the plant is not sitting in the soggy soil, because that is the only thing that can kill these plants. And make sure your pot has got enough of drainage holes. If you want, you can fertilize these plants, but I have not fertilized them throughout spring and summer, and they are still doing very great. But if you want, you can use a complete liquid fertilizer, a weak dilution, and fertilize your plants during spring and summer. Then next is the lighting condition. As I said, they love partial shade. Temperature, hot, humid and warm temperature is what these plants like. And watering, when they are in the ground, you can water them every day. Like I water the whole my garden every single day. I water these plants every day. They are happy, they are healthy, the soil is always moist. But if you are growing them in a pot, always check the soil before you are watering. So if the soil is very wet and moist already, do not water it. Leave for a few more days and see how the soil, whether the soil has dried out or not. When the soil has dried out, water them. So do not overwater them because it can cause root rot and your plant will die. So do not overwater these plants. There are some problems, like if you are planting this plant in a pot, then sometimes you might see the yellowing of the leaves or the leaves falling over and drooping. Now that happens most of the times when you are planting these plants in the pot, because in the pot, if you are overwatering your plant, the leaves will start turning yellow. The lower leaves or the upper leaves, they'll start turning yellow and they'll start falling over. And if you are facing the problem of yellowing of the leaves and then falling over, that means you have underwatered your plant. So this mostly arises when you are planting them in a pot, but if you are growing them in the soil itself, in the ground itself, this problem hardly arises. Like these plants, I water them every day. Look at the beautiful foliage of this plant, shiny, vibrant. They are so beautiful. There is no yellow leaf in all these flowers, no yellow leaves, and I water them every day. So because the thing is that the ground will absorb that water, the water is not sitting in that pot, they're not sitting in that soil for a long time. So that is the reason why these leaves and these plants are healthy, but these problems do arise if you are growing it in the pot. So underwatering, overwatering, you have to take care of that thing if you are growing them in the pot. Now, apart from their beautiful display of these lovely flowers, these plants have got some benefits as well. So these benefits are that these plants are very well known, kind of famous for their anti-cancerous properties. So these plants have got two substances in them, vincristine and vinblastin, and these chemical compounds are actually derived from the plant itself, and they are used to treat leukemia, childhood cancers, and lymphomas, Hodgkin's disease, and many other sort of cancers. So those two drugs are anti-cancerous, which makes this plant a highly toxic plant. So please keep this plant away from the reach of children and pets, because a little bit of ingestion of this plant can be very fatal for small children and pets because of these two substances, because the anti-cancerous chemicals or anti-cancerous drugs, they are dangerous. Consuming those drugs can actually kill you. So do not eat these plants, or do not make any. If you want to use these plants, please consult your doctor before using them. Now, some people also say that having the tea made out of the leaves of these plants can actually help to cure and prevent diabetes. It can detoxify the body, it can purify the blood, and the flowers of these plants, if you crush them, make a paste and apply it on your skin, can actually help get rid of many skin infections and skin problems. So honestly, I have never ever tried any of those things. If you have tried any of them and it has worked for you, please share with us. Do let us know by commenting down below. We will love to hear from you, but I have not tried any of those benefits that you can hear or you might read on different internet pages. But even if you want to try it, try in a very small quantity. Try very less first, see how it goes, whether you are able to tolerate or not. See if it is showing any positive changes in your body. If it is helping you, you can continue to have it. But if you feel that you are suffering from nausea, vomiting, or hallucinations, or any other skin rashes or fever or anything, please don't use this plant. Do not eat it, and be very careful when this plant is around and you have got young children and pets around. So that would, I can say, the only drawback of this plant, that it's highly toxic. But other than that, even if you don't want to utilize any of those benefits of having the Vinca tea or anything like that, you can still enjoy the beautiful display of these lovely flowers. So friends, this was all about this plant. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you have any queries, please do let us know by commenting, and we will see you next time with another exciting video. Till then, stay safe, happy gardening. Bye bye.